Today's topic is the expansion of Zara into Bangladesh. Our team members have Tintin soon, 一不或鸭落. The possibility that if Zara outsources from a local company in Bangladesh, it should focus on labor considerations, legal considerations, and the production distribution consideration. Now I will introduce the background of Zara company and the textile industry in Bangladesh. Zara company set up its own factory in La Corona in Spain in 1990. Until now, 15% of total products come from there, and 24% of Zara manufacturing in Bangladesh. The reason for Zara to cooperate with a local textile industry factory in Bangladesh, because of it is the second largest garment manufacturer in the world after China, and Bangladesh has a long history of textile industry. It began at the 19th century. The main product was muslin, cotton, and silk fabrics. Next, I will describe the profile of Bangladesh. For the outsourcing supplier, Bangladesh has an abundance of labor force and natural resources. The labor force has increased every year, such as in 2012, there were 77 million labor in Bangladesh, and the major natural source in Bangladesh is jute. The production of jute in 2012 was 10 million tons. The textile industry in Bangladesh offers different kinds of technologies, such as denim manufacturing, display days reduction cleaner, and also the Bangladesh has a completed textile policy. This is textile policy in Bangladesh, such as market diversification, product diversification, a supportive policy regime, leader time, labor productivity, cheaper labor force, and researching and trading. The policy attracts many foreign companies to cooperate with the textile industry factory in Bangladesh. This data is comparing the export tax payment between Bangladesh and China. We can see why the foreign company will offer order to the local factories in Bangladesh because of the tax payment is low. Now I will analyze the strengths of the SWOT analysis. For the production distribution consideration issues. In Bangladesh, the main natural source is jute, and the Bangladesh product muslin started at the 19th century. Also, the Bangladesh product cotton and silk fabrics. So the textile industry factory do not need to import the material from other countries. It can reduce cost, and the Bangladesh offers 4 million labor in textile industry. There are 90% of women are working in textile industry, and the wage is low. The wage could be $37 a month in 2009. This is Bangladesh Jute report on May 7, 2013. The data shows us which need use 2 cents per 10 kg jute in Bangladesh. It is mean the jute cost in Bangladesh is very cheap. The data is comparing the export and import policies between South Asia and Bangladesh. So we can see the export and import process is more complicated in South Asia than in Bangladesh, such as the documents to export and import, and the time to export and import, and also the cost to the export and import in Bangladesh is cheaper than South Asia.
Now I will continue to talk the second part of SWOT analysis. There are two major weaknesses in ready-made garment industry. Bangladesh is heavily dependent on important technologies, equipment, and other raw materials for garment made. The situation failed to update the advised equipment and technology on time from Bangladesh and led to the decline of Bangladesh garment competitiveness. In addition, short of electricity supply would increase the production cost and low labor productivity. There is no doubt that low equipment utilization hard to adapt to the international market demand for ready-made garment made design and innovation. Next, let's see the investment opportunities for Bangladesh. Bangladesh is one of the most populous countries of the world, and it has a sizable market. It means there will have the large purchasing power in the future. Bangladesh is in a good geographic location. It provides an important link between South Asian and the dynamic Southeast Asian region. At the same time, low-cost labor also attract most of clothing retailers make the trade in the Bangladesh, and the government encouraged more of the foreign companies to invest in Bangladesh, so the incentives for the spinning and weaving industry include a 15% cash subsidy of the fabric cost to exporters sourcing fabric locally. Well, what costs are associated with doing business in Bangladesh, and how much would this expense be? Let's see this form. A summary of business cost in Bangladesh and show the price detail for each of necessary things you will spend in Bangladesh to do the business. This part of the form also connects to the last slide of summary cost of doing business in Bangladesh. With approximately 150 million hardworking people, Bangladesh has great market potential. Although today, Bangladesh is still a low-income country, tomorrow, Bangladesh could very well be the next emerging market in South Asia. The most serious threat in Bangladesh garment industry is security risks of workplace. According to Clean Clothes Campaign, there are 500 Bangladesh laborers have died in factory fires since 2006. Imperfect factory infrastructure led to disaster happened, such as inadequate number of fire extinguishers, structural fault in the building. Bangladesh garment industry attracted rising international and domestic criticism for a faulty fire safety record. This is one of the actual cases for fire disaster happened in Dhaka. At least 117 people were confirmed died in the fire, and at least 200 were injured. This is the other actual case for building collapsed into a deadly heap in Dhaka, Bangladesh. The dead people have already increased to 1,127. Approximately 2,500 people were injured in this accident. Faced a serious security hidden danger, How can Zara guarantee worker safety? Our team think of 3 ways to solve these problems. Our reason is most of factory faced with the loss of money, they will pay more attention for the safety issue. So the first one is repairs and renovation of defective buildings, and other fees for safety inspections. Manufacturers and branch company must pay for it. Second one is Zara company must follow the rule that if a factory is not going to operate with high standards, then they would not purchase from that factory. The last one is cut supply ties after discovering serious problems in the regular inspection.
The second threat is about the trade monopoly. Here are two graphs that show the problems. The first graph is the top three import and export sectors in Bangladesh between 2011 to 2030. We could see that the clothing and the textile becomes the largest two parts about the exports. The textile world Asia said that the textile industry have played an important role in Bangladesh's economic for a long time. The second graph is about the world clothing exports in 2001. According to this graph, we could see that China occupies 30% of the world clothing export. Chinese textile industry has possessed obvious competitive advantages in international market, which are mainly reflected in cost, scale, and qualities. Since China has a large population, Chinese textile industry enjoys a huge market. From these two graphs, we could see that China, as the first textile industrial export countries, become the strong competitors for the Bangladesh. The third threat is about the copyright issue. Zara sets their factories in Bangladesh with their designs. It is possible that the special designs will be plagiarized by the local apparel companies. They will produce with lower cost and sell it at the same price to get more profit. Also, it will influence the processed sector's reputation of Bangladesh. It will cause Bangladesh lose the cooperate partner with other foreign countries. The fourth threat is about the corruption issues. The trade restrictions is one of the factors. The export productions quantity is a certain number, so the necessary export license become very valuable. The exporters may consider bribing the official who controls these issues to export more, or the local company may bribe the government people to protect their local companies. They may get some better promotion opportunities or policies to sell more. The second one is about the price control. It means selling the goods below its market value. Some companies may want to bribe the officials to get an unfair price. The last one is about the sociological factor. For example, the company may bribe the officials to allow them set the polluted factors in the uptown or near water areas place. Next, let's compare some index for the Bangladesh and Spain. We could obviously see that the labor force for Bangladesh is much more than Spain, and even if their employment rate is just 5%, it because that many participates in the labor force work only a few hours a week with a low wage. And we can also see that Bangladesh exports products and textile productions, but spends products for the machinery. For the debit, external budget surplus or deficit, and the GDP per capita, we could say that Spain is much more than Bangladesh. It means that Bangladesh's government need more money, so they may provide some favorable policies to attract the foreign investment. Overall, Zara outsourcing from a local company has both advantages like cheaper labor and abundant jobs, and disadvantages for the low safety productions conditions. But the advantages is much more than the disadvantages. It is a suitable place to outsourcing from local companies. Here are the references. Thank you for your listening. Here are our email address. If you have any suggestions, please contact us.